Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
It's tennis time. You know, you don't have to play tennis to enjoy tennis. I know a lot of people played when they were much younger, but now playing tennis is it's a sport that you can play here in South Florida more often than up north, of course. And we certainly hope that you will go to the most exciting tennis tournament here in South Florida. I was so happy to see that Delray came into its own when they were able to have this huge tennis stadium. When they were first building this, I didn't even understand why they were doing this in a little town like Delray. But I'm so happy to have Adam Barron, who's Director of Business Development and Sponsor Liaison of the Delray Beach Tennis Open here, to talk about the Delray Beach Open. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Anita.
You must love the fact that that tennis stadium is just first class.
Oh, we love it. We love Delray Beach. We've been there for 18 years now. Yearly event, just wonderful weather, great people, and just a great place to be.
Yeah, and you have accumulated and acquired so many such a loyal audience, and the people that you get to come from all over. I haven't heard of a lot of the people. I have heard of course, the famous brothers that you always bring back. I love them.
Oh, the Bryan brothers.
Right,
yes,
the Bryan brothers.
The winningest doubles team in the history of tennis, actually. The most majors out of any team ever. And they're still playing, still going, and they're just wonderful guys. Just
they're
great
still
guys.
Friends.
Oh, yes. They're still friends. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's really a great thing that you're doing. So let's just kind of talk about how many years have you now done this Delray Beach Open?
We've done the tournament. This is our 24th year now. Yes, I know, 24 years. It's amazing how quick it goes by.
You were a little baby.
Yes, well, my father actually started it. I did not start it, but my father's been doing this. He's the tournament director as well. And it's our 24th year now for the Delray Beach Open. We've been in Delray for 18 years now. So we're just excited for another year.
I can just picture what that must have been like at your home when your father got this brilliant idea and your mother said, "You must be kidding. What are you going to do?"
Exactly. Well, actually, we grew up playing tennis. My brother, Ivan, who's the tournament chairman for the Delray Beach Open. He was a top-ranked junior player, number one in the world in juniors, actually, when he was a lot younger. And then he was a professional tennis player as well for about 6 years. And during that time, my father started the tournament, and then it's come to its own.
Yeah, it really has. So let's just tell everybody, you got to mark off on your calendar between February the 12th and the 21st. And they're day and late, I won't call it, it's evening, but it starts at 6. It's a thing you don't want to miss. Even if you only want to go for one or two times, you need to go and experience it. I know some people go every single day. I mean, because they love it. It's a simple place to get to compared to some of these huge tournaments, one down in Miami and, of course, up in New York and all. But here in our little town, they can go and they can have something to eat there. They can sit and watch. Because everyone's so close to the field, we call it a field in tennis?
It's the court.
Court,
yes.
excuse me.
Yes.
Okay, right. The court. And you can just be right there and watch it. You can hear the ball slam. It's really wonderful. Are you still excited when you go?
Oh, I mean, we're excited all the time. I mean, we just love the event, and spectators are great. 40,000 plus every year we bring in, and it's a very intimate stadium. We love it. You can see tennis right there, see how hard these people are hitting the ball, and people don't realize how good these players are until they see it up close. It's really something else to see.
And let's just talk about the whole sport of tennis. It's strange that a lot of people really like tennis. There are a lot of sports, for instance, like polo, and they like to watch it, but they can't really play it. It's not common. And they're like football. Everyone watch it, but who could be a football player? In tennis, people can really participate in the game, and I know you have classes.
Well, the tennis center, you can take lessons there, whatever you want, and I mean beginners, anything. Really for all ages, and there's no time to that's bad to start playing tennis. So it's great. You have a racket, you have some balls, and down here in South Florida, you can play all year round. So it's never too late to start the game of tennis, and it's such a great exercise as well.
Right, and a lot of people play singles, and then as they start aging, they play doubles, so they don't ever have to give it up.
Correct. Yeah, the doubles is so big down here. Doubles leagues, everything. Yes.
So let's talk about what we're going to expect to see at the 2016 Delray Beach Open.
Fine. We have one of our best fields ever. We're so excited for these players. We have 6 of the top 30 ranked players in the world. You have you have Karlovic, who's returning for his to redeem his championship that he won last year. He's top 30 in the world right now. One of the biggest servers in the game of tennis. We actually have 2 of the fastest servers in the history of tennis playing the event this year. And we have other players such as the Bryan brothers, as you mentioned before. We have a great young star, Grigor Dimitrov, who's top 30 in the world as well. People love him, actually. He used to date Sharapova. I believe he's dating somebody, a famous player, a famous singer right now, but he's, everyone loves him. And we actually are excited for the comeback of Juan Martín del Potro, who was a former top 4 tennis player in the world and won the U.S. Open recently. So he's making his comeback. He was injured a little bit, and now he announced that he's coming to Delray Beach, and he's playing, and he's ready to go Tuesday evening, actually.
So I'm going to ask you a weird question. I always ask weird questions. How come we don't mix men and women in these tournaments? I mean, what is it? They just play differently? What is the situation there?
You mean playing against each other?
Oh, yeah, whatever, right.
I don't really know that answer. I guess the level is probably different, the level of play, the way they play.
I mean, Venus, she certainly could have played any of these men.
If you asked her that, she might have a different answer.
Really?
But, I know Serena's gone off and saying, there's no way I can compete with some of the men, but I am not quoting what Serena would say. It's just a whole nother different game. The level, not the level, but the way the men hit the ball versus the women, serve. It's just a completely different game. And I'm not taking anything from Serena. She's probably the best, women's tennis player in history, but it's just a different game.
Yeah, I've been really curious about that because they are so good. So they just stick with their own sex, right?
Yeah, I don't know any sport where they combine the women with the men. Actually, for professional in the level, you have the golf, you have the women's tour.
Well, even swimmers. Swimmers are pretty.
It's just a different. It's a different level, I guess. I don't know. I really can't answer that question. I'm not the founder of the ATP or the WTA.
No, I was just curious. I know, but it's just a couple of us talking about it. I never asked anybody that, but you're so friendly. I figured, well, I'll ask you and see what you say. Okay, so basically, when people come, they're going to be able to have food because you do have that on premises, but you also do have lots of things for them to see.
Oh, we have, it's the tennis is one thing, but there's a lot of events going on. We have ladies' day luncheons. We have senior days, which is buy one, get one on Saturday, Monday and Wednesday during the tournament. We have the food court. We have a new caterer this year we're very excited about. Drinks. We have the volley girls, promo team, doing cheerleading on the court. There's so much things that are going on during the event, not just the tennis, but there's a lot of things going on around the site. It's very great to see.
Good thing to be seen and heard, right? Just go there and have some fun.
Oh yes, it's great. Have a couple drinks, have a nosh, watch some tennis, and then the avenue's right there. Go out after the tennis and go out on the avenue. It's just a great.
And I noticed that the parking is not really terrible. It's very easy to find a parking place and walk over, and I compliment you on that.
Oh yes, it's like I said, it's a very intimate setting. So to get to and from, it's not difficult at all. It's right off the expressway. You're there and can walk in, watch some tennis. It's wonderful.
Now, there's also some parties that you have for people who are sponsors. So, and it's too late to sponsor anybody, but I'm going to give you some information that you can actually get, and then for maybe next year, you'll be able to do something. So go to yellowtennisball.com. That's a great name, by the way. I love when you did that. It's so easy to remember, Yellow Tennis Ball. And that's another story. When did they decide to go to a yellow ball when it was always white, right?
Oh, I wish I can answer that question. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know these things, but these are questions. Yellowtennisball.com. If you're interested in being a sponsor next year, or you want to buy your tickets, or you want to do something, you want to have a booth, or whatever you want to do.
There's so many opportunities.
Volunteering.
Our volunteers are amazing. I mean, they basically run the tournament. If you ask them, they run the tournament. But without them, this is not possible. They are just such an amazing bunch of people working tirelessly throughout the event. No fuss, nothing. And, you can always call the number 561-330-6000 as well for any information, sponsorships, booth, tickets, all that stuff. It's all right there on the website.
So Adam Barron is the Director of Business Development and Sponsor Liaison at the Delray Beach Tennis Open, and he's part of the family. And so everybody, and I see that you have a wedding ring on, so you must have a wife and children.
I do. Actually, I met my wife at the tournament.
You didn't.
I did.
Now,
I met her.
That's a Valentine's story.
I know. It's just I just happened to meet her and said
How'd
hi.
you meet her?
Well, I met her sister briefly, and then she came to the finals one time, and with her sister, and my wife happened to be there, and I said hi, nice to meet you, and can I get you something? And we didn't
like
know.
Me?
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess I not stalked her is the word, but I made sure I knew where she was going to be again, and then I met up with her and asked her out, and the rest is history. Now we have 2 boys that just turned 5, 2 twin boys. Turned 5 this past weekend, and it's great. And turns out she's been coming to our tournament forever. A huge tennis family from Canada, and we played a lot of tournaments the same, but just never knew each other. Just a very amazing story. So
some children have teddy bears, and your children have tennis rackets.
Yeah, actually, my father bought them tennis rackets and brought that to the hospital when they were born. 2 little tennis rackets, and they're actually starting to play now, and they had the same tennis rackets my father brought to the hospital. It's just
that's a lovely story.
Biggest smile on my face watching them play tennis on the court.
That's
so
a
cute.
Lovely story. Wow. Well, so it really truly is a tennis family.
She has a little better seats now. Her seats are a little better than they were before. I'm not sure that's why she married me, but she won't admit to that.
Okay, but does she? The thing I was going to talk about, I love to see the car on the court.
Oh.
And so, did you ever get your wife and the kids in that car? Because that's special.
The kids, I don't want them to get near that car because they're 5, and you'll probably take a key or something, right. Or take one of their popsicles and put it on. But yes, the car's one of the only tournaments that actually has a car on court. Champion Porsche is one of our big sponsors. We love them. Great partnership to deal with, and we actually last year just signed a new 5-year deal. Partnership continuation with them, and they're just great people. And if you haven't checked out Champion Porsche, go get yourself a Porsche. Those are good cars. You will not be upset.
Right. And are there any other tournaments that actually have a car on the court?
I do not know any other tournament.
I've never seen anything like that.
They have cars, but not on the court.
Right.
We actually have a car on the court, and you actually can sit in those seats. They're the best of the best seats in the house. There's convertible right there on court. It's a quite of a advantage point to see exactly. And you have 136 mile an hour serves coming right at you. And
you just have to duck.
Exactly. Good thing there's a window in front.
Yeah, true. No, but it's fun. And I actually remember the tournament so much with that. I think we featured something like that in Boomer Times. So we have a booth there, Boomer Times does, and we will be there. We hope that you'll come by and say hello. We'll be there on Senior Day, and then I think we're going to be there in another day too. But I'm very happy, though, to be one of the sponsors of the Delray Open, the Delray Beach Open, because this is very important for seniors to go and get out from the television, all the politics on the television. What you want to do is get out where everybody else is, have fun. Remember when you play tennis, maybe it'll inspire you. But you do have classes for children. I think you're sponsoring something, and I don't have it with me. Aren't you, about children?
We do a Kids Day.
A Kids Day,
USDA
that's what
Kids
it is.
Day. It's Monday of the event, so it's Monday the 15th. It's during the day. It starts around 9:30 in the morning, and there's different levels depending on the age of the child. Different tournaments. You start, red balls versus green balls and orange balls. So it's the USDA 10 and under development of tennis, if you will. So it's a whole fun and games. There's balloons, there's face painting. And there's actually a tournament for these children as well, based on the level of play they are. So there's so much activity going on that day, and that's just one of the days at the event. and that is also a senior day as well, Monday. So come out, senior, child, everything, and you'll see some great tennis.
And are you the inventor of things like this? Who does are you doing the marketing, or is Ivan does the marketing?
Ivan does a lot of the marketing. My brother Ivan.
Who does the invention of things like this? I mean, these are very clever ideas.
Well, it's a team effort. USTA is a good partner as well, and what they've done with tennis is amazing. And they've come in and they're a sponsor of that event as well. So we work with a lot of these partnerships, and we all come together. It's a team effort. We have a great staff. We sit down, we figure out, okay, what do the people want? What's the driving force of these people? And they love it. It's not just to come and watch tennis, but it's to do everything else and to grow the game of tennis also. That's what the USTA Kids Day is all about as well.
It's very healthy. I remember my husband was a tennis player, and he, I think we lived in Texas, and he decided he was going to get one of the big rackets, which was ridiculous at the time. He said, "What are you doing?" And that became very popular. Is it still popular, or is it back to the regular size?
It's yes and no, I guess. I wish I had a correct question or answer to that question, but it's whatever you want. I mean, there's the technology now is jumped from leaps and bounds. It's amazing what's going on out there. I mean, Federer, I think, just switched to a bigger racket, and everyone's like, what is he doing? He's used to another racket his whole life. But the power that these people have nowadays, it's any little edge you can get on the other player helps out. So the rackets, some are big, some are small, and it's whatever feels good. When you're holding the racket and you hit the ball, if it feels good for you, then that's perfect.
Well, that's interesting that the Tennis Association would allow. When it first came in, they had to really probably do a lot of politicking to get that, because that was a very unusual thing at the time, wasn't it?
I mean, back in the day you had the wood rackets, and then I think Connors was the first one with the steel, and now the graphite. I mean, these
is that what it is now?
And now it's string, and I mean, I haven't kept up with all the technology of different stringing and different rackets and all that stuff, but because every week it's something new, and these companies that's it. It's about the edge. Everyone has the power. Everyone has the physicality, if you will, of being able to play tennis. So if you can get that little edge, you get 1 more mile per hour on the serve, or be able to return a serve a little quicker, and it's fine. It's within the rules. That's great.
Well, I'm wondering, of course, we know in basketball the shoes are the thing. We have the red shoes from the shoes. Do tennis shoes make a difference in tennis? We used to call them tennis shoes. They used to be tennis shoes, even if, that was the name of it. Because I guess it was in tennis that sneakers. Sneakers,
yes. And that's the thing. I mean, you're talking about these people that they're by themselves. They don't have a teammate to pass the ball to or anything. So they're on the court running around. I mean, the amount of running that they do in one match, I mean, if you looked, it's miles and miles and sprinting and everything, and you only have about 30 seconds in between each point. So the shoes are definitely a factor in each tennis players, and everyone has different shoes that they like depending on what feels good for them.
Okay, so now I know you're bringing in a lot of foreign stars. Do we have, other than the Bryants, do we have any stars, the U.S.?
We do. One of our players is Steven Johnson. He's top 30 ranked tennis player as well. And there's definitely some developmental children that are stars that are coming through the ranks. We have some great kids that are wild cards, young players coming out of college that we should see, and will be at the tournament as well. Because
it does seem like there are a lot of foreign players. I don't mean just at your tournament, but everywhere. And it seems like, I don't know what's happened to the Americans.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain that. But, I mean, there are some very good USA players. Whether it's, I mean, I really don't know that answer. But, hopefully we'll have a couple people coming up in the ranks very soon that can, take over the likes of Federer or Djokovic and excel and, be a top 10 player, top 5 player in the world.
So what kind of trophies do you give out for the winners?
We use a ceramic, nice, beautiful trophy for the players, and I don't know if they care more about that or the prize money that they win.
What kind of prize money is involved?
God, I wish I knew the exact number.
Well, you don't have to, but I mean, are we looking at $100,000?
The winner, I believe, gets around $80,000, $80,000 or $82,000. Our total purse that we give out during the tournament is over $1 million. So
really, that's pretty big. And so you're able then to give everybody something, at least if they're a winner and they're in a lower level, but they get. Yeah,
the prize money is based on the ATP Tour, pursuant to what kind of tournament it is. We're level 250, so. The prize money, about $580,000 commitment for prize money for each for the tournament, singles and doubles.
That's really good. And when people come here, do all of their expenses paid when
It depends on what player and how long they go into the tournament, based on ATP rules and hotel, accommodations, food. And every tournament's different.
Probably try to get as many sponsors of these things as we can for everybody. I know that I'm very involved in theaters, and sometimes there are like 15 actors and actresses, and they have to be housed and fed, and they have to be brought down by plane because it's all actors' equity. And it gets to be very expensive.
Yeah, we have some great partners as well, and hotel sponsors, partnerships. The Boca Resort, one of our great sponsors, partners, as well as the Wyndham Boca Raton, Embassy Suites, also Fairfield Inn in Delray Beach, and Spring Hill. Town Place Suites in Boca Raton as well. So we have some great partners that we house, I guess, put them up in hotels.
Sure.
We transportation, Champion Porsche provides all the transportation.
Not bad.
You'll see the Delray Beach logo on these beautiful Cayenne Porsches driving around throughout the 10 days, and they're actually already starting right now with the players flying in and picking them up from the airports, taking them to hotels. It's a big to-do, if you will, getting everyone's schedule, picking them up, and you still have all the umpires we got to pick up as well. So it's not just the event that goes around. That's the easy part.
Right. I know. I understand that. So my guest is Adam Barron, who's the Director of Business Development and Sponsor Liaison for Delray Beach Tennis Open. If you want more information, and you can go to, and I don't want to. Actually, is it 561-3380-6000? Is that a number? What should we give them?
Yes, 561-330-6000
is a phone number.
Yep.
Or I like the yellowtennisball.com because all the information's on there.
Yes, and our marketing campaign is Paint the Town Yellow, so you're going to see yellow everywhere. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah, and people actually call us the yellow guys, the yellow ball guys, yellow tennis ball guys. So
that's very clever that you did that.
We love that marketing campaign, and we work with a great group, the Buzz Agency, as well as Woo Creative, one of our great partners, for marketing as well. So we have a great team around us, and that's what we do.
Yeah, it takes something like that to make this come off. I bet that you take all year to really pull this together. I mean, this isn't like as soon as it's over, you've started again because it is a big enterprise.
It's what we do. Yes, we want everything to be perfect. So it's not 2 weeks before, okay, let's start thinking about what we're going to do. Right when the tournament ends, it's okay, start getting ready for next year. It is a 24/7, 365-day-a-year process, and that's what it takes to put something on like this, and we pride ourselves into doing that.
And so your father is still very involved, of course. What does your mother do to be involved? Just take care of your father?
She takes care of us. She is a saint, Sharon Barron, Anita. So it's her name is fitting.
That's a good name, Sharon Barron.
Yeah, she is. They don't make them like that anymore. She's just a wonderful. I call her every morning on the way to work. I have to speak to her every day. It's not even a question. Do I have to speak to my mother? But she's the glue. She's wonderful.
Isn't that fabulous? Yeah. I love to hear that. And so, does your brother have also children?
Yes, Ivan is married, 3 children as well. Lara, Matthew, and Jonathan, and just gorgeous kids, just wonderful kids. And then I have a younger brother, David. He's actually 10 years younger than me. He lives up in New York. He's a lawyer. And we're just very close family.
How'd you let him get away?
He got away himself. There was no letting, and he's a musician. Very, very smart kid. I can't say enough.
Does he come down for the tournaments?
He's actually coming down. He just booked a flight to come down.
So cold up there anyway. Give him an excuse, right?
I know. I'm like, what are you doing up there? It's so cold.
Right.
Come down. So he's not upset to have to come down for those tennis. He'll work out of some satellite office doing what he does, and we look very similar. So a lot of people think that we're twins. And I don't mind that because he's 10 years younger than me. So I'm like,
that's pretty good, right?
You either look really old or I look really young.
No,
I'm not sure.
South Florida does that. Keeps you youthful, right?
Yes.
That's very exciting. So we're really talking about the 2016 Delray Beach Open. And we have the ATP World Tour field. That's what's coming here. And it's such a pleasure, of course, to be a part of this. I mean, this is not just going to some high school and seeing some tennis. This is very big. This is when people go to the major tournaments all over the country. This is our contribution down here in Delray Beach.
This is it. I mean, this is world-class professional tennis. And the first weekend of the tournament, we actually have the Champions Tour. These are the legends of the tour. We have James Blake coming, former legend. We have Marty Fish coming as well, and that's from the 12th through the 14th, the first weekend. And we're the only tournament in the world, actually, that has a Champions Tour combined with an ATP World Tour. So that's one of our accomplishments, that we just love having these legends on site as well, and then work our way into the World Tour for those 10 days. So it's a 10-day event, nonstop. We live and breathe tennis.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, and what are the legends doing here? Are they actually playing tennis?
Yeah, it's part of the Champions Tour. It's ATP Champions Tour.
So they're going to be playing, but they're not playing they're not playing the others.
No, they have their tournament. And then the World Tour. So during the weekend, the first weekend, while they're playing on center court, on the outside courts is the qualifying for the World Tour. So there's a 16-man draw in the World Tour qualifying, and you win 2 rounds, and we get 4 people that qualify for the World Tour. And while that's going on, people could come out and see the Champions Tour players come out.
This is so nerve-wracking. I'm all nervous about this already. I can't wait to go. I'm very excited about it. In fact, I have a cousin who's been a big tennis person coming in from North Carolina. She specifically decided to come at this time so that she can be a part of it. So, Adam, Barry, it was so nice talking to you, and we're so excited, and we wish you all the best of luck. And everybody go to the Delray Tennis Tournament.
Thank you very much. Great being here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.